Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a get ready with me video, so I'm going to jump straight into the video. So I'm just going for quite a natural everyday look, but I thought I'd film it. So I'm taking my Stay Matte foundation in the shade True Ivy. That's basically my colour for every foundation. I'm very pale, but my skin is pale but quite tan, if that makes any sense. So I still need to have quite a beigey colour base. So yeah, I just dot that all over my face. And then I take a brush. I just take this fluffy brush that I got from Amazon a little while ago, and I really like the quality of the brush. It actually works really, really nicely. I used to use the Real Techniques buffing brush, and I did really like that, but I do think that this one is a little bit better for the foundation that I use now. So just blending away. So anyway, while I'm sort of just blending my foundation in, I hope you guys are all doing really well. Quickly just say, if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, or if you just haven't subscribed. It would mean the world to me if you did. And yeah, so basically every day I like to just go with quite a simple look, but I do like to have quite full coverage foundation on, just because I have quite a lot of discoloration and scars from old spots and things like that. So, you know, I need to kind of cover those up. So I just apply my foundation and I put it on my eyelids as well, so that is like my base for any eyeshadows that I will apply. I already have a base and I don't have to reapply anything afterwards. And I really like to blend this in, because this foundation is very thick. If you've used it, it's a really good foundation, but it's so thick, so you have to make sure that you really blend it, otherwise you kind of see your pores quite a lot. And then I take my makeup powder, which is my Smoothie Does It powder. This is actually from Poundland. I bought this a little while ago because I just ran out of powder and I just really needed a quick fix powder to sort of last me a couple of days, and I'm surprised at the quality of it actually, considering it was only obviously £1. The only issue I have with it is, compared to my e.l.f. pressed finishing powder, it's very heavy, so I can kind of feel it a lot more on my skin, so I try not to use as much. And I'm just going in with my brow brush. Obviously have already done my brows. I do that first, but I didn't record it because I actually have a video on my channel that is my go-to brows, so check that video out if you haven't already. So that's the sort of foundation and base powder finished, and then I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in light to medium, and I couldn't get it open. And then excuse the dirtiness, but I used the shade Fawn, I believe. I have always used this shade. It's just a really nice kind of earthy, natural looking shade, and it's definitely much easier to work with than maybe Havana, because I just find that's a really dark, very intense kind of brown shade. I like to use that more on my eyes for my like eyeshadows and stuff like that, or maybe even my eyebrows I use it for, but for contouring I mostly use Fawn. And then yeah, so I just contoured one side, now I'm just doing my forehead and blending down a little bit, and then just going on my chin slightly. I don't do too much on my chin, but a little bit, just to sort of define it slightly, and then go on to the other side and I just do my cheek. And I always have to make sure that they're both the same side, like they're both the same shades, because they never end up being exactly the same, and that really bugs me. For some reason, the side I do first always is a little bit darker. But I guess it's just maybe the lighting or something, I don't know. I don't know whether you guys can see. Maybe you'll have to like tell me afterwards and see whether you can, but yeah. So then what I do is I just take the rest of my contour and, you know, just contour my face quite simply. And then I'm going to take my little fluffy brush that I use for my nose, and again I just use the same fawn shade, and I just kind of pop 2 little lines down each side of my nose. Every day I don't really do too much of the whole contouring thing. When I actually do like my full makeup, I spend a little bit longer on my nose, and I sort of try and really define it and make it look a little bit more snatched. But for every day I just kind of give it a little bit of a bronzy look, and yeah. And then I'm just taking a little bit of my other bronzer that I have from French Connection and just adding a tiny bit of that on to my cheeks as well. Then I'm taking my Freedom highlighter in the shade, I believe this is Dazzled. This is one of my favourite highlighters actually. It's a really nice kind of pretty glowy pigment. It's pressed, so it is kind of tricky to get like a lot of the product out, but I do really like the effect that it gives because it's a little bit more sort of natural. Then I'm going to take Lightning from my W7 cheek and contour palette. I really like this palette, and this shade is really nice. I use this for my highlighter. I also use this for my nose, and I also use this on my eyes a lot of the time because it's a really nice sort of eyeshadow shade. I like the pigment that it pays is actually really good. And then I'm going to take a smaller little brush and again take the dazzling colour from that W7 palette and just pop some on the end of my nose and then down like the bridge of my nose. I kind of only do like half, I don't go all the way, and I always make sure I blend that bit out in inner corners of my eyes. Other one, and then also my Cupid's bow. Okay, no, I didn't do my Cupid's bow. I'm going to take another highlighter from my French Connection palette. This has no name, it's just like the highlighter shade from the palette. I'm so sorry that I keep coughing. I'm actually sick, kind of. So I'm just taking some of that sort of like dazzling highlighter shade and putting it all over my eyelids, all over up to my eyebrows. This shade just kind of neutralizes your eye color out a little bit more. It kind of helps to reduce any redness or any like discoloration that you may have, and for every day that's a really nice little base. Then I use the contour shade from the same French Connection palette. Again, this palette has no names, they're just kind of like, one's a contour, one's a powder, and one's a highlight. So now I'm just contouring my eyes, kind of going in back and forth and just washing over the colour. I kind of wanted you guys to see it, but the lighting was just awful and I decided that you couldn't see it, so I set back up again. So it's just really simple, but I think it gives the eye a little bit more depth. And then I do my other eye quickly, just kind of blend out and make sure that they look relatively similar. One of my eyes are a little bit more hooded than the other one, so I kind of have to apply a little bit more product to make sure that it really stays and everything kind of seamlessly blends. I then got something in my eye, and I then realised that after I finished the whole video and the whole makeup was done, I had an eyelash that basically had turned around inside my eye, and it was painful. I kind of started crying and stuff. It wasn't very good, but I pulled myself together. Now I'm going to take a mixture of Havana, and I think I'm not sure what the other shade's called. Fawn, Havana, Java, maybe. And I'm just going to sort of take a mixture of those two darker shades and pop that in the very corners, outer corners of my eyes, just again to give it a little bit of depth. And I also just kind of brush that over the crease, just again to give my eyes a little bit more depth and make them a little bit more 3D instead of just being very, very dull. I then took my darkest shade from my Brow Bar to Go, and I just applied a little bit of that in the very sort of outer bit of my eye, again just to sort of add even more depth. I wanted to go with quite a bronzy look for this, but also keep it very simple. So I was kind of trying to do both of them at the same time. But yeah. Then I'm going to be taking my super dry wet eyeshadow palette. I really like this shade. I forgot I had it and then I found it and I was like, yeah. I tried to show you, but I'm not sure. You can kind of see. It's just like a shimmery pigment. It's really pretty. So I picked up the detailer brush from Real Techniques. But as you'll see, I mean, it goes on, but it's just kind of awkward. And I think you'll sort of see later on that I start to use my finger and it's much easier to use the product. This kind of just scratched all over my eye and made things like pretty painful. But yeah, I just pop that on like my my inner corner more, kind of 3/3 maybe down my eyelid, just so I could sort of blend it together so it wasn't just like 1/2's brown, 1/2's goldy, silvery colour. So I just gave a little close-up of what it looked like, and I quite liked the little look of it. I thought it was quite cute. I really like this product as well because it's actually, it stays wet, but it doesn't really move. So then I take a little bit more and pop it on another coat because I wanted to achieve quite a glowy look. But things started going a little bit wrong, I think. So what I did was I then took a little bit more. I think I poked myself in the eye again. I have quite sensitive eyes, guys, so that's why sometimes my eyes may water and things like that. Makeup's always been an issue when I'm putting makeup on my eyes, just because my eyes are very sensitive. So I don't really ever get any issues with them anymore, but I used to have quite major issues with them when I was younger. And now obviously you can't see because I was just trying to do the eye makeup, but I was just applying it again on my other eyelid, and then I'll go in a minute with my fingers and apply a couple more layers just to sort of make that colour really pop and make it all kind of work really nicely together. I think I achieved quite a nice little look, so now I'm going in with my finger because the brush, I mean, it worked, but I found that the product was just kind of being moved around. Once you put a certain amount on, you just sort of started moving it around again. So I use my fingers then I'm looking for something clearly, I don't know what, we shall soon see. A brush, I found it. And then I just take a little bit of browny colour and I just applied it to sort of blend them two colours together. I think I actually applied a colour that was a little bit too dark and I was like, oh, I went a bit too far. But once mascara and everything was on, it didn't look too bad, so it was fine. So eyes are nearly done. I then take my mascaras. I take these two W7's Massive Lash, I think this is called, and then my Wake Me Up mascara from, I think, Rimmel. Do this one, I'm not 100% sure. It's with the Wake Me Up range, the foundation and powder and stuff like that. I've been using the mascara for years, but I take this one first because this one's a little bit less clumpy. So I kind of achieve my length with this one, and then I apply my other one in a little while once the others have gone a bit more tacky, and that kind of adds the fullness and not clumpiness, but the volume that I kind of want to go for. So that's the lashes. I then go in with my little highlighter stick. I only recently got this little highlighter stick. I had one a couple of years ago and I really liked using it, so I bought another one 6 months ago. It is running out, but it's a really good one actually. I think I only got it from New Look, but it's a really nice little cream highlight, and I like to use it after I've basically done my makeup to kind of add a little bit more shine back into my face, because obviously I use quite a lot of powder. So now I'm gonna apply some on my cheeks. Maybe not. No, I'm gonna use my French Connection one and just apply a little bit more highlighter on my cheekbones. I really like this highlighter for kind of, this is a really good highlighter to build. You can really build a good little light off this. And then I think that's it. I think I'm pretty much done. It's pretty simple. So then I'm going to take my other mascara quickly and just apply just a couple of coats of this. This is quite a thickening mascara, but I do use it every single day. I love it. And then I put it on my bottom lashes as well. Doesn't everybody make such a gopping face when they put their mascara on? I don't understand why, but anyway. So bottom mascara and top mascara is done. Nearly. A couple more coats and then that is basically it, I think. Really simple. So with my lips I just went pink, but yeah, that's the finished look. It's just a nice kind of contour, shiny looking eyes, pretty simple base, natural looking brows, and I went with like a dusky pink kind of lip. So yeah, that was the finished look. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Bye.